Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Mouse Minds. We are here live streaming for you on all your favorite streaming platforms, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And as always, I am joined by my lovely co-hosts, Michael and
lovely?
Lisa.
I was going to say only one of us is lovely. It's not me. And I'm not sure it's Robert.
Hosts. I said it was plural.
We had to tease you a little bit.
How are you guys this week?
Cold. Thank you for asking.
Nice and cold, all of us. Jeez. Central Florida.
I will say that yes, you are 100% correct. It is very cold here. I was at the parks on Sunday, and that was a less than enjoyable experience. But we will talk about that because it's something we can talk about too while we are on this discussion. Because I had a very nice experience at Epcot this weekend, so we'll definitely have to talk about that. But we are here live for you, as always, on your favorite streaming platforms, whether that be Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whichever you choose your favorite platform of choice, and we will be on there. But we have a lot to talk about this week, so we are going to go into it here. Well, not really a lot to talk about, but we are going to be talking about this week. I wanted to talk about the recent change in leadership that we had at the Disney parks here. We recently had a big leadership change, and I want to kind of, talk about that and talk about how we all feel about a new CEO. We have a new CEO for the Disney Company, and honestly, I'm pretty excited for this. I'm pretty amped for this. It's someone that I love. So I'm very excited to have that here in the park. So we are going to talk about that while we are here. And we are also going to talk about some other stuff too that I did over the weekend here. So we'll actually start with that here, guys. And as always, thank you for joining us here. We live stream every week at 8:30 on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And then, of course, we record for your favorite podcasting platform, whether that be Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, wherever that may be. We live stream for those platforms. Put our podcast at 5 on Fridays on those platforms as well. So going into this week's show here, I want to start off before we get into the discussion of the new CEO and everything and kind of the shifts that we've seen inside Disney today, because there was a lot that happened today. I want to talk about a recent trip that I had to Epcot, which was this past Saturday. And it was a very, very cold day. If you don't know, Florida is experiencing the Arctic blast just like everyone else. Probably worse so than anyone else, because we're having temperatures down here we haven't seen in forever. Like the feels like was in like 12 degrees. This week we had ice on cars. Like it was crazy what was going on in Florida the last couple of days here. I'll try to see if I can throw up a photo or two of what has actually been going on in the parks, because it is just craziness what we have going on here at the Disney parks. So what we have going on in Florida, just with the ice and everything else that's been happening with that, because we actually did have actual ice in Florida, which is crazy. Thick, chunky ice on anywhere there was a fountain. There was like ice. It's just been an insane couple of days. With all the ice we've been seeing, like most of my plants are gone. Just on my property, I can imagine. I was down in, I don't know if it was 2000, maybe 1999,
and Disney was in the middle of a terrible, same thing, deep freeze, and there were signs everywhere. Please pardon our vegetation. And it was just a given that the flowers were shot. So I know mine are gone. I can't imagine all the lovely plants around the resorts. Gonna be replacing those for a bit.
I'll give you I have a photo here actually that I can share with you guys. Let me just load this up here so you guys can see what the ice looked like. Now this may be hard to see because you might have to zoom in a little bit on this photo here, but you can see here although this does not look completely frozen, you can see the ice on I see if I can, I don't know if I can zoom in on the photo or not, but you can see the ice on the fountain here, and this is inside Remy's Ratatouille Invention, the France Pavilion. You can see the ice on the little sculptures on the side of the fountain, and just ice kind of dangling from the fountain itself. It's been a crazy weekend. We don't know how to react to ice. It's been crazy, and it's crazy. So that's been what Florida's been up to this weekend. But I decided to brave that because I had gotten a reservation to Geo 82, which is somewhere that I've talked about a lot on the show, but I've actually never been to. And this was actually a very fun establishment. And I am so excited that I finally got to go. And it took some planning. But I also want to talk about some planning things too that I discovered this week too that I'll share even with you guys. I don't think I mentioned it with you guys either, but there's some other planning things that will actually help you get a reservation at somewhere like a Geo 82 or a Beacon Barrel. It's actually helped me get a reservation in another location inside the parks, which I'll mention that I have. So yes, I'm actually, this one I'm debating whether or not to tell you guys this one because this one's good. Right. But I mean, you can find it. You could. And speak of the devil, it just messaged me telling me there's something available. But yeah, I will spill the tea. Don't worry. I will definitely do that for you guys. I'm not gonna gatekeep this one. You can find, it's an app. You can find it in the App Store, but I will explain more about that later. And I know I'm talking a lot here, but I'm just stalling to get more photos uploaded so I can properly share Geo 82 with you, because Geo 82 was quite the experience and it deserves all of the proper accoutrement with this here. So Geo 82, if you don't already know, is the lounge inside Spaceship Earth. It sits in the back of Spaceship Earth in what used to be the sponsor pavilion inside the Spaceship Earth pavilion. Now that ride has no sponsor, that sponsorship lounge is now vacant, except for now Disney turned it into Geo 82, which is a bar, which I will show you. I should have a picture. I did have a picture of the actual entrance of Geo 82. Now, of course, geodesic spear, geodesic tiles, sorry. So there's where the Geo comes in, and then of course 82. We have 82 because of the year that Epcot was actually open. So when you walk up to Geo 82, it's kind of hidden on the side. Here's what the entrance looks like. It's kind of hidden onto the side of the Spaceship Earth as you exit. I believe it was the left-hand side as you exit. You'll see this little entrance, little non-conspicuous Geo 82 logo just kind of chilling there. And that is the entrance to Geo 82. And they have this nice plaque in there, which has the opening line for Spaceship Earth, like a grand and miraculous spaceship. Our planet has sailed through the universe, and so on and so forth. So you'll see that plaque when you get in there. This is totally themed towards Spaceship Earth. This is heavily themed towards Spaceship Earth. It is, even just walking in there and having that table there where you check in is just, it's absolutely gorgeous downstairs there. I didn't get any pictures of that, but it is absolutely gorgeous down there. The only thing I did get a picture of is they have this setup here that shows you the glassware that you have inside Geo 82. And I can honestly tell you the glassware inside, even just the glassware alone, is so fancy. Like, it is so nice. Like, this is like the most incredible, like, you're about to step into the most fancy, most incredible experience you've ever stepped into inside a Disney park. I mean, this feels like something that should be like Club 33 or something, but it is not. But after you step out of that main lounge there, or main like kind of reservation area where you check in, this is one of the pictures inside there too. You step into an elevator, which has this amazing Spaceship Earth mural, I guess you would call it, inside there, which is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, that is the mural that they actually used, or the artwork that they actually used to when they were first opening Epcot, and it said "The future begins October 1st, 1982." I believe this was the image that they used, and it had "The future begins on October 1st, 1982." I believe it's this. It might be slightly different, but I'm pretty sure it's this.
Yeah, it's very similar,
so,
if it's not exactly it.
Exactly. And then, of course, you take the elevator upstairs, and then once you get upstairs, you go into sort of a lounge area where there are some photos. And when I say lounge, it's like a seating area before you actually go to the bar. So there's the bar, and then there's a seating area before you're actually let into the bar. Because you have to keep in mind, the bar space, the bar area is so small. But what they've done is really pack in the seats in this place. It's crazy. Now, I didn't take any pictures of like people drinking. I kind of got some shots as much as I could of not people like in the bar, because I didn't want to be that person. So you can't really see like the seating situation and things like that, because but it is, I can tell you, it's a more intimate space. It's not huge, but it's not tiny either. It's a nice space, and you'll see in a minute here. And here's another mural on our picture on the wall here. And of course, you have these geodesic tiles everywhere. Just amazing representation for Spaceship Earth. And then, of course, more kind of that same artwork in the ceiling, and even here with this photo of the monorail going past Spaceship Earth. So just the artwork alone is just fantastic. And then you even have, let me see if I got a picture here. This is in the hallway to the bar. They have basically full-size replicas of the geodesic tiles, like a hallway just with the geodesic tiles as the wall, and walls on both sides, and it is just, it's amazing. It's so good. So it just absolutely looks pretty inside there. Now, with this bar, once you step into the main area, this is kind of what it looks like. And you can see this from the ground floor when you're looking up from, because this is on the second floor. When you're looking up to the up into the building, you can see this, and you can see there's almost like a hidden Mickey in the middle there with some of the lights. It looks like they did, and you see like the spear lights. It's just very fancy and elegant, and just very, very pretty inside there. And then, of course, the views that you get, we were, of course, right next to a window, which was awesome. I can tell you, if you're doing a party of two, they have a lot of party of two seats by the window, so you have a good chance of getting a window seat. And I'm not going to lie, as bad as this is going to sound, it was very nice sitting up there, having a fancy cocktail with my pinky out, and looking down at the peasants as they walked around Epcot in the cold. I'm kidding, peasants. I'm just joking. But it was fun watching people downstairs. It was fun people watching, because I think as locals, that's one of the things that we do sometimes, is we people watch in the parks. Lisa's shaking her head, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about here. So it's one of the things that we do, and watching that from the second floor was definitely, something that, it was a whole new level there. So that was pretty awesome.
And you know who it's
But
nice
then,
to not have to look at during your stay? Small children. Right? This is the adults only bar, right?
Small children.
Well, so I'm gonna go show you all our drinks here. Now, I'll have to go through the menu here and look and see what remember what drinks that we had. But I know we started with the one of the drinks that we had was the Peach Shrub Whiskey Smash, which is Suntory whiskey, Emmentaddillo sherry, peach, and mint shrub with bubbles. Now, this is the drink right here. And it is, as you can see, it is absolutely gorgeous. The glassware is gorgeous. The drink looks beautiful. And on top of that, the drink is served with this little treat, which is like a cookie, a shortbread cookie with like some, I want to say like sweet cream on top, and then like a peach, not a compote, but more like a marmalade, like a peach marmalade on top. And you eat that as you drink the drink, and it actually enhanced the flavors, and it was just incredible. Now, the one thing I will tell you about the drinks are amazing. They are very, very, very strong. Just like I've heard the Beacon Barrel is, which, spoiler alert, I will find out about that soon. And I'll tell you more about that in the future, in a little bit here. But they are very, very, very strong. I had one. We got two drinks and we shared them. And I was feeling mighty fine after one. One was all I needed, and you could taste that they were very strong. And that's one thing to keep in mind too, because I did actually order this drink here first, which is a blackberry or strawberry black pepper sour. And the black pepper sour had Campari in it, maraschino liqueur, strawberry lemon, and black pepper. And this one I just could not drink. It was so tart and so almost spicy from the black pepper that I just couldn't drink it. So as fancy as it was, luckily they were nice about it, and I sent it back, and they got me a different drink, which is this one here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Which is, and for those of you that are listening on here, go on our YouTube page, Disney and Beyond, and look up our recent episode, and you can see these photos as well. But you'll see here, this is my drink here. Now, this was the Highbrow Botania, and this had Reposado tequila in it, Amaro, cola nut, lime cordial, and salt. And basically, this was like a mix of Coca-Cola with tequila and some lime, and then, of course, the salt on the rim, so on and so forth. And this was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was, you really tasted the cola. You could taste the tequila. There was definitely tequila in there. It was definitely, very strong. I could honestly say, like, one drink at this place would probably be enough. And I will tell you, the prices for the drinks at GO82 are on the pricier side when compared to other drinks inside the parks. If you go to a regular bar and just get a pina colada. Let's say you go to Morocco and you get a Sultan's Colada. A Sultan's Colada is probably going to run you like $15 or something like that. Where my drink that I purchased, oh my God, most drinks here were around $26 to $28 for one drink. So yes, it is a little more pricey than what you would pay, say, in like one of the countries or at one of the bars on property or something like that. If you just got like a like a regular standard drink, per se. But one of the things I like about this location is they're very good at describing the cocktails. And you can see this here. They have like a cocktail key that they have for the menu, so you can decide if you want something sweet, if you want something sour, if you want something spicy. It gives you an idea, and it also tells you what type of glass it comes in. If you like your drink in a specific glass, if you like a certain type of ice, like some drinks come with a spear of ice, some drinks come with a big block of ice, some drinks come with cubes of ice. There's just so many, and the glassware, what type of glassware you get a highball glass, or so on and so forth. So there is a lot of thought that goes into this bar. You are paying more for the drinks, but everything is very, very, very carefully crafted and very well thought out, and the flavors are very well thought out, and each drink has its own flavor profiles, and depending on what you like, they have something for everybody. Now, do they have like just a standard like pina colada or something like that? I'm sure they can make it if you asked. I don't know. I don't know if they would do that because they have a drink menu. I think they kind of stick to the drink menu. But the other thing that's neat too about this place is they do have zero proof cocktails as well that are zero alcohol or non-alcoholic, but have this zero proof like liqueur inside them that kind of makes them taste like liquor, but it doesn't have alcohol in it. So that's an interesting. I didn't try that, but I heard that I've heard that someone that went back that they got one of the non-alcoholic drinks. It was the Manhattan in the Morning, which had cold brew coffee, maple, tart cherry, and walnut bitters, and they added regular alcohol to it, and that was a very good drink too. So you can customize the drinks, but there are like I said, the drinks are very well thought out. I know a lot of people have said to me when I posted about it that their biggest complaint was the drinks. Not the drinks themselves, but the prices. Excuse me. But I honestly don't. I feel like the amount of alcohol that you get in the drinks plus the quality of the drinks actually dictates the price that you pay here. And I'm not that upset about the price. It is very expensive for a drink. It's not somewhere that I would go regularly, but it is somewhere that I would definitely go back to. Because it is just fun sitting up top there. Maybe if I was going to go back regularly, I would just grab a beer or something like that, or because the beers range from $7 to $11, so maybe I would do that. But yeah, it is. I mean, I could see going back for that and just sitting up there and enjoying the view. The one thing I will tell you though that I was a little disappointed on. Is the food selection. We actually didn't eat anything up there. What was that?
That's what I was going to ask, because I've heard comments about the food selection over and over, and that turned a lot of people away. So you guys didn't try any of the small bites?
We didn't try any of the small bites just because of the fact that the nothing sounded really that amazing, and I'll read to you the menu, and if anything sounds exciting to you. Now, we have plans to go back and try the food because apparently some of the food it looks really good, so we'll definitely try it. But one of the things they have is a chef's selection of artisanal cheeses, cured meats, and accompaniments. So basically a charcuterie board, and apparently that one's looks really good. Um, so that might be something we're trying when we go back because I love charcuterie boards. So I was definitely eyeing that when we went there this time, but I was like, we're getting the drinks. Let's just get the drinks to start and kind of go from there and maybe try the food later because the food is on par price wise. As a lot of the food is on par price wise with the drinks. So I just wanted to try the drinks and just have the experience, and then we'll go back and try the food at another time. But the other thing that they have is a cannellini hummus, a pumpkin seed pastel, radish preserved lemon, Fresno peppers, and papadam, which is like the bread. And then you have fungi flatbread. You have a roasted mushroom flatbread, miso mascarpone, mozzarella, fontina cheese, pickled red onion, black garlic molasses. And then, of course, you have the truffled ahi tuna, which I actually saw this, and it looked pretty good. If you like, like sushi or kind of raw fish, raw tuna. So you have whiskey barrel aged soy truffle ponzu, citrus scallion tobacco, black cement, and then black sesame seeds. So this one actually looked. I mean, there wasn't a lot of food. When they say small bites, she's literally meaning small bites. I mean, I think for the tuna, there was like two little strips of tuna, like they were squares of tuna. They were kind of long, maybe like 2 to 3 inches long, but there was like two of them on the plate, and that one is $23. And then of course there is some smoked jumbo lump crab gatao with smoked cheddar, mustard seed, lemon, vinaigrette, and caviar. So they do have. So I definitely want to go back and try the food. It's just something that, at the time, and it was so cold that day too, just being in there and enjoying the warmth and all that was nice. And then just trying the drinks for the first time, I think was the best way to go, because the food just, like I said, the food, it didn't really get me excited enough to want to purchase something. But again, I've heard the charcuterie board actually looks really nice. So it is definitely something that is on my list here. Let me see if I can find some pictures of the food so you guys can see who are watching with us live here. But yeah, it's something that does look interesting. It does look. I mean, at the time it didn't look interesting, but I will go back and see here. The crab cake does look interesting. Let me see if I can get that over to you guys here so you can see what we're talking about here. But yeah, so I, like I said, the food was not top priority here. I mean, honestly, I'm not really that much. I don't really drink that often myself either. So I'm not the best. I mean, I've had, I know about liqueurs and all these things, and all that stuff, but I'm not a big drinker, so it's not really my forte to really comment a lot, I guess, on the flavors of the drinks per se compared to other things, because I'm not a huge drinker. But I can tell you that the drinks were just super strong, but that's fine. I mean, I think when I say strong, but I should say more packed with flavor. I think most people would say that they're just it's not that they're strong, they're just very full of flavor. So, and here just so you can get an idea of one of the dishes, here's what the crab cake looks like for those of you watching live. So it's kind of almost like the size of a scallop, and it's one on the plate with some caviar on top and so on and so forth. So, I mean, again, not necessarily my cup of tea. But I will go back and try the food. I definitely want to check out the food. But all in all, it was a great experience. I will definitely be back. I enjoyed sitting up there. It's not something that I'll go to all the time, but it's somewhere that I will go every now and again, just to enjoy that space. The one complaint that I did have in there, I guess, and it's not really a complaint. It's just the nature of the environment that you're in because of how small it is and how tight it is in there. It was very loud in there. It was almost loud enough to the point where you couldn't hear the person next to you because you had to kind of speak up because it was very loud in there, because it's so tight in there that it's just hard to, I don't know, it's hard to talk because you're trying to talk to someone else, and then it's just so loud in there that it's hard to talk over everyone else, I guess you could say. But that's not really like a major complaint. It's just something to be aware of when you go in there. If you're thinking that you're gonna, because I guess my perception was I was gonna go in there and it was gonna be kind of quiet and just relaxing and warm, and there wouldn't be like a ton of people up there, and it would just be nice and chill. And that was not the case. It was packed with people, and rightfully so. I mean, they sell the reservations like crazy. Even on a day when it was, I think, 32 degrees out when we went in there, it was still packed with people. So this is somewhere that is going to be packed for a very long time, between the size and then just the amount of people that actually want to go here. But like I said, it was a fun experience, and I will absolutely do it again. And it's something that I look forward to doing again. Did you guys have any comments or have any questions or anything you want to add? Or
no, I think we've covered this extensively. I think we're good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I want to still try it. I know that I may be sharing the food, sharing the drinks, but it sounds like a fun experience to do a few times.
Yeah, I went once. I'm good. As I told you, Robert, it was interesting the first time. Are they still doing the craft ice, or is the craft ice done now?
Yeah, they're still doing the craft ice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the coolest part about the drinks. But like I say, you don't go there for food. I don't drink alcohol, and it was very minimal. I'm better off in some of the other lounges. I did better in Beacon Barrel.
Yeah.
I'm fine up in the Villains Lounge. This one, I'm not in a rush to go back to. It's overpriced for the view, and unless you're there for the fireworks, there's no reason for paying that much for a beverage.
And that's another thing that I'm not too sure how that works, because right now one of the things they are doing for the fireworks, or they were doing for the fireworks, I don't know if they still are, is a fireworks experience. There's like a premium, like you can basically pay, I believe it's $179 per person, and this gets you access into the lounge during fireworks. I don't know if you have to pay that to actually be able to be in the lounge, or if you just have to have a reservation then. But you get a food tasting tower, exclusive cocktails, and it includes champagne. So I don't know. I was seeing that there was some signature cocktails for like the fireworks, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how that experience works per se. I don't know if you have to, because I know someone was saying to me the other day they were going to try and go during fireworks and just see if they could stay or if they had to pay for the package. So I will report back to you on that after that actually happens, and if they let them stay during fireworks. And I can tell you though, just from being in there, I don't know, Michael, if you felt this way too, but I honestly feel like it wouldn't be the best spot for viewing fireworks. I think there's too much stuff in the way.
It's a far distance,
Yes.
Just because you can turn around and see Spaceship Earth from where you are doesn't mean it's the best thing. I mean, I guess they're shooting off. I didn't go during fireworks. I guess they're shooting off higher enough in the sky, but there's got to be better viewing areas than Geo 82. But
and the thing
I
is
mean,
too, like if you sit on either the left or right side of the bar, no matter where you are, there's things in the way because you have those giant pillars that are in front of you. There's like basically one clear path that goes straight up the middle, and that's right in the middle, and that's it. Everything else is kind of off to the side. There's trees in the way. There's everything else.
Yeah. I mean,
so
for everyone complaining about the size of the building, and even then when you had for the corporate lounge, I mean, that's why it's small. You know, they didn't build this. That's an existing space that was never intended to have 100 people in it at a time. These were for, you know, and staff, employees of Siemens and whoever came before them. You're only going to have 10 people in there at a time, if even that, because not everyone from Siemens is down there unless they're doing an event. So you're not going to fill it all the time like you are now, and they aren't expected to, and they're not going to blow it out because they can't change the building. You can't change the ride. The space is the space.
Exactly. And so it's definitely one of those things where, like, you know, it was there already. It's been there since like the 80s. There's nothing that they can do about the size. It's been there since the park opened, and it was a sponsorship lounge. They weren't I'm sure when it was a sponsor lounge, it was massive because they only had so many people there. They weren't having that many people as they have up there now. So, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, was pre-existing and they can't really do anything with. But moving on from that, I want to share with you guys something. I almost, you guys can find this in the App Store, and I hate to share this because I feel like I'm giving away a good secret here, and now everyone's going to do it. But I guess technically it could still work. But I was searching, you know, in the past, people have mentioned to me about websites and various things that will allow you to find reservations better. It'll alert you basically when reservations pop up, things of that nature, and you can snag it. And I found an app in the App Store. I was just searching around myself because I was like, I know there's something out there because I've heard of these sites forever. Someone's made an app and they're doing it. And there is a app that I found, and it is called Stakeout. And basically what Stakeout does, I don't know if any of you have used this before, but basically what Stakeout does is you pick a location. So let's say, like for me, for example, I picked Beacon Barrel. So I put in Beacon Barrel, I put in the day that I want to go, and I put in the time that I'd like to go. I could select a whole day, I could select a certain couple of hours, whatever. Now with this app, I do want to preface this by saying this app does come at a cost. It is $10 a month for the app, but I'm totally okay with that, especially after what it's been doing for me. Once you put that Stakeout in there, basically the app itself, it does two things. Now, what I would suggest that you do with the app, number one, is of course install the app. Once you get the app set up and you've paid your $10, I mean, you can do it. There is a free version of the app, but with all the features you get paid, like with the regular free version, you can only do like one thing at a time, and it's just a pain, and you got to get notification. And you don't get, you get lesser priority notification. So by the time you get your notification, someone else probably snagged the reservation. So I was like, I'm not even messing with that. So when you get the app, once you set up the pro plan or whatever, it's like $10 a month. That's the one where you get the priority notifications. You can actually go in and put your phone number in the app and have it send you text messages. So basically what this app does is it sits there and it monitors the advanced dining reservation system and tells you when a reservation pops up for that location. And I've seen this work in person because initially I was like, I've been watching it because I put in Beacon Barrel, and I've been watching it and I've been saying, okay, and I saw a time come up. The first time came up. It was about an hour after I did it. I got a text message saying Beacon Barrel is available for this time on this date. And there's a link inside the text. I clicked the link on the text, and it basically takes me to the reservation page, or not basically, it takes me to the reservation page, and it has the date selected already, and I just hit next, and then there's the reservation right there. And then I just click it and do the normal reservation stuff, credit card guarantee, all that blah, 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 blah. And then that's it. I have my reservation. And the cool thing is once you turn on a stakeout for a certain date and a certain time, it keeps alerting you every time something opens. And I can tell you this is real time because I initially had changed my time for the day that I wanted to go because there was something earlier. And as soon as I canceled that reservation, I got a text saying this time is now available, which is the time I just canceled. So it's all happening in real time. It's consistently updating you. So for people that plan far in advance, this really, I don't think is something that would be a benefit to them because you guys can always get reservations because you plan far out in advance. For people like myself who are locals and go often and don't plan in advance because why would we? We live here. This is a game changer. It seriously is a game changer. And I am absolutely blown away by this app. The way, I mean, I would have been fine with it just texting me and telling me, hey, there's a reservation available, and then I go on the app and I go to book it. But the fact that I had the link and I can click it and it basically preloads everything and I can get it done in a second, that way I guarantee that second that reservation is open, no one else can snag it and I can get it, is amazing. Amazing. And this will be a game changer for reservations for me. I mean, I put in Geo82. I put in all the things just to see what would happen. And I was getting reservations, things that you would dream of seeing. And it's just because someone canceled. I mean, you'll see it. Like, it may be 10 o'clock at night. It may be 9 a.m. in the morning. There's no rhyme or reason. Someone cancels reservation, it pops up in the app, you go snag it. I mean, it could be anything. Cinderella's Royal Table, Be Our Guest. Any of the popular restaurants you can put in this app and have it watch. And honestly, I've been waiting it out this week for the time that I wanted to go to Beacon Barrel, which Beacon Barrel is very popular right now. It's very hard to get a reservation there. And it's been consistently updating me and telling me, hey, look, you got this time, you got this time. And then every time one pops open, and I finally found one the time that I liked, and I booked that reservation. So, I'm very pleased with this. It is very awesome. I'm very excited. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you guys, but if you go in the App Store, I know it's on the iPhone App Store under Stakeout. Just look up Disney Stakeout. I'm assuming it's an Android as well, or the Google Play Store. But definitely go on there and check that out and download that app. It is honestly a game changer. I know there are some websites that do this, but the app is so simple. It just does one thing, and it does it well. You put in the time, you pick the restaurant, you put in the date, and then start the stakeout. It's so simple, but it does such a good job. So definitely check that out. It is honestly a game changer. Like I said, I am using it to get into Beacon Barrel, and I've already got my reservation in. I had my reservation within, a couple of hours. I had a reservation pop up. So that was really cool to me because, as a local, booking reservations a week out or even a couple days out, you feel kind of like I can't get anything because everything's taken and I never have a shot because I'm not booking 30 days out. Well, this gives you a bit of an advantage. So definitely look out for that app. And keep in mind with stuff like this, as always, with anything, it's as Disney allows it to happen. So Disney can come in and shut down things like this. I'm not saying this is like approved by Disney. It really isn't. There is nothing that is approved by Disney with this, but it is something that can help you get that that advanced dining reservation that you're looking for. So definitely keep that in mind the next time you're looking for a reservation. It is seriously. I've been using it for a couple of days, and I'm just blown away at the things that pop up. Did you guys have anything you want to add, or?
No, I like it. I've used either that app. Well, actually, I went and checked, and I had the option to download it again. So I have used it in the past. But there's a few other options too. So I think anything, especially if you do like a last minute trip, or like you said, for a local, that's a great way to get a reservation for something that you want.
Yeah, I use an alternate site, but I mean, I guess they all do the same thing at the end of the day. Little cheaper.
Yeah, they just.
It's not an app. The less thing I have on my phone, the better for me.
Yeah.
I've installed apps that I'm like, oh my god, I become an adult. I don't need this app. I don't need the Walmart app, and now I got the Walmart app. What the hell do I even need that for? But I mean, there are sites out there, but those things, you're right. I mean, when they work well, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But like all apps, if you don't jump on it the minute that alert comes in, somebody else is going to snag it. People are like, oh, I'm the only one getting it. Everyone's getting it. Everyone subscribed to the app or the website can get it before you. So as long as you're on it, and that's where the paid memberships come in. Because the free ones, like the site that I use, they send you an email, and nobody's in their email. It's 2026. Nobody gets email unless it's business. You're not emailing your friend. So unless you're in your email, you're not going to see that the alert came in. When that text comes in, everybody's on their darn phone. You hear that chime, you grab it, and then you jump on it. But it's awesome when it works out, for you. The places that I've gotten into and was able to snag a reservation for, it's wonderful. So definitely with you on that.
Yeah, it's totally. I mean, I knew these things existed. I had never used them before, but actually using it, I'm like, ooh, this is nice. I
think I actually gave you one to use, like when we first started the show.
You did.
And
you did, and I never went to, and I thought about using it, and I just never got around to it because I was like, I don't want to do that, and
now you see how awesome they are.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it would work because it's kind of like it kind of circumvents what the Disney system, and it's just the whole thing. So I didn't, but now that I've tried it, it's pretty sick. But let's go into quickly here because I want to talk about the things that happened today at Disney, because we had some major news that happened at Disney that actually honestly has me excited here. And I want to spend just like 10 minutes here before we wrap up the show here talking about this. And we had a major change today. Now, of course, Bob Iger has been talking for weeks, for a long time actually, about how he's going to step down as CEO. Of course, Bob Iger was a CEO for a long time. He stepped down, gave that CEO job to Bob Chapek. Chapek did not do a good job, for lack of a better word. And then Bob Iger stepped back in and took over the company again. And now we have a new CEO. And he's a CEO that a lot of people love and a lot of people are excited for. And that is Josh D'Amaro. And if you haven't seen Josh, Josh is the face of basically the head of Disney Parks and Entertainment. And he's kind of become, before, I mean, let's be honest. Parks and Entertainment is the biggest moneymaker right now for Disney. And it is the thing that people latch on to the most. They have these big keynotes now, D23, what's new, what's next, Walt Disney World, what's new, what's next, Disney Parks. All these keynotes, and Josh hosts all these keynotes. He's almost like, the way he does his keynotes, like almost like Apple does their keynotes with Tim Cook and all these things, talking about what's coming next in the park, so on and so forth. And he's been basically the face of Disney for a little while now. And I mean, he started back at Walt Disney World. at one of the parks and moved his way up as vice president of one of the parks, and moved his way up to the vice president of Walt Disney World, and now to the vice president, the chairman of the Disney parks and entertainment, and then move up to the CEO. And I've actually had the pleasure of meeting Josh on multiple occasions inside Walt Disney World and talking to him very briefly, but almost like, hey, thank you for this. This is great. We love it. And then him just being all smiles. And Josh is such an amazing person. I think I have not really seen any Facebook posts yet that kind of say anything negatively about Josh. All I've seen on my Facebook feed today is everyone posting their pictures with Josh. And that's the kind of person Josh is. He started, I remember way back in the day, he had an Instagram feed where he would post pictures. Well, he still has Instagram, but he was very active on Instagram when he was running like Walt Disney World and posting pictures and things like that, and kind of connecting with the fans and commenting on things. And that was, I think, that was like one of the first times that, someone who was higher up in the company really started interacting with the Disney fans. And I think that meant a lot to a lot of people. And I think that won a lot of people over. And I think that's a big part of the reason why he's now the CEO of the parks, because the fans just adore him. I don't know what the rest of y'all think about that, but that's kind of my consensus on all of this, and why I always thought, and I even said it, way back. I remember I met him at Magic Kingdom, and I talked to him for like a minute, and I said to myself, this is the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Like, I had already called it, and I just knew from talking to him, like, the fans just adored him, and there's no way. So, I know that, like, obviously there's a lot more to being the CEO of the Disney company than just having fans who like you. But I think that played a big part of it, and I think I think he has some great ideas when it comes to a lot of the things that are happening in the parks, especially like Magic Kingdom, things like that. So I think people like those things as well. But what do you guys think? I know I've talked a lot today. What do you guys think about everything that's happened today?
I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to know this new president woman.
Oh, the Dana. Is that what you
Whoever
mean?
she, I have no idea. I don't know if I'm supposed to know her or not, but I see less interest in her taking over than I do in Tomorrow taking over.
Yeah.
I don't know the name. I don't think I can talk on any of her previous positions or her accolades or anything like we can about Tomorrow.
Well, she's been running more so like the streaming, things like that, the entertainment side of it, where Josh has been doing that. But Dana Walden, she's been running more of the the entertainment side of it. She's been helping with like Disney Plus, things like that. So she'll have more control. Obviously, Josh will be the CEO of the company. He's more parks focused, but he'll have a hand in that as well, the entertainment side as well. But she's really good at the entertainment side of things, and so on and so forth. So she was the other candidate as well for CEO. They didn't know if it was going to be her or Josh tomorrow, but I think Josh went out because of the fact that he is more of a parks person, and parks are sort of the moneymaker for Disney right now. And I think that's where they want to focus on the most.
Yeah, I think you want somebody who's very personable, very knowledgeable, very with their hand on the pulse of everything. And to take someone like Dana, who's very behind the scenes, she's more corporate, she's more office focused, and you don't, you put both of them in the park, I don't know if anyone's going to recognize her versus seeing Tomorrow. So you want somebody who can get out there and connect with people, and I remember when Chapek was doing all of his presentations, he'd wait until the park was closed, and he's doing it behind the scenes, and he didn't do anything in public in front of the fans because he knew he was going to get booed. But I guess that was the reputation that he built for himself.
So Dana was the CEO and chairman of Fox. Okay. So she was the Fox Broadcasting Network, 20th Century Fox, all that. So she does have, she does have some great success with Fox. Had some great shows while she was there at Fox. She helped move the Fox network from last place to first place in the ratings during her leadership. So she came over when Disney, of course, bought Fox. But she's been the chairman of Disney Television and ABC Entertainment. She's been the head of just general entertainment, Disney Entertainment. She helped with streaming. She's done a lot of things when it comes to the entertainment side of Disney, but not so much the park side of Disney. And I think that's, like I said, that's where I think that they're trying to focus on the most.
Well, and also, I mean, I think this is amazing for her and her career, but they also created this position. There wasn't one before today. So this is a brand new created position for her. I think she was one of the top contenders for CEO, but,
yes,
being their first president and chief creative officer, that's amazing. And she mentioned on Instagram, I think, that this was her dream job. So, good for her to make a way and have them create a position just for her. So,
I'd say a dream job that never existed. That's quite a dream
exactly.
job.
Right.
I've always dreamt about a job that I didn't know was out there.
Sometimes,
but, I mean, I guess they had to do something to do right by her.
Right.
One of my previous jobs, they were looking for a president for the college, for the university, and they were going to either promote somebody from within or they took an outsider, and everybody knew how this was going to go. And I think everyone knew how this tomorrow bit was going to go too. But, they just kept running and running until they found some way to make everyone happy. But I don't think this was a surprise to anyone. It would have been more of a surprise if tomorrow didn't get it.
Right.
Now, another big one that we saw today too, which I think is another welcome change. I think we saw a lot of great changes today. I think Dana Wilder will be great for entertainment. Anything they can do to help with streaming and things like that, because that is a big part of any sort of movie business now. Because, I mean, most things are released on streaming, and if they're in the movie theaters, they're in the movie theaters for a short time, and then they're right to streaming. But one of the people that I'm really excited for is Dave Filoni. And if you don't know, he is going to be the president, or is the president and chief creative officer at Lucasfilms, which is awesome because, he was basically George Lucas's protege. He's basically the creative force behind the modern Star Wars stuff. Star Wars, he did Star Wars, The Clone Wars. That's where he started. So there's been a lot of great things, and I've heard him speak on, because when we had Star Wars weekends, I've actually heard a couple of panels with him in it talking about Star Wars, and he just has a great admiration and love for Star Wars and everything that makes Star Wars great, and the storylines and digging into those storylines. And I think I think Star Wars fans, I mean, I see it. Star Wars fans are very, very excited for this. This is something that they're very excited for. So I'm excited to see this too. I think this will be a great change. I mean, not that he hasn't had his hand in a lot of the projects there already, but I think it'll be something great for the company too, to have someone new heading up Lucasfilms, and it's gonna be great. So, and of course, Dave Filoni is always famous for wearing his cowboy hat, but yeah, he's done a lot of great things for Star Wars. So this is really gonna be something. I'm really excited to see what happens in the future with the Star Wars franchise and things like that, and see what more comes out of that, because Dave Filoni is in charge of that now.
Yeah, I think things were really going downhill with Kennedy after a while, and I think Filoni remembers all the stuff that George Lucas seems to have forgotten about Star Wars. You know, and just what made it awesome, and why the prequels weren't where they should have been. It's the same exact guy who made the first three that made the prequels, and very disjointed. Like, he forgot to go back and watch his own material so he could write new movies. Filoni's the guy who seems to have kept up with all that and knows how to give the fans what they've been looking for. And right when Disney sounded like they were ready to pull the plug on a lot of Disney stuff, they stopped a lot of the shows, and a couple of the movies they put on hold, because I think we were getting burnout from terrible product. Now that Kennedy's out of there, let's see what Filoni can do. And maybe Disney will reinvest. You know, they've got the new movie coming out. They're changing over Batu, and you know, at least in California, I hope they bring that to Florida too. No one cares about your silly timeline that you don't want to go break. Give the fans what they've been asking for. And again, I think Filoni's prepared to do that.
I think so too, and I hope that, my biggest hope is that they could bring a little more fun and a little. I know the movies are great, and there is the storylines and things like that, but one of the things that I miss the most, that they did before kind of Kennedy put her foot down, was things like the hyperspace hoopla at Star Wars weekends, having the characters kind of be silly and outside of the norm and kind of do crazy shtick and things like that, just for fun, you know, just to break character. It's not canon, it's none of that stuff. It's just the characters being fun and doing stuff on one of the planets and having some fun inside the parks, things like that. You know, I do enjoy that stuff a little bit, or a lot actually, especially hyperspace hoopla. I'm bummed that we don't have that anymore. I wish we could have more stuff like that, but I think this is a good change. I think this will bring a lot to Star Wars. But overall, I have to say, I'm very excited for the direction the company is going. You know, I feel like, you know, that DeMauro being the CEO is going to be awesome. I just can't wait to see what he comes up with. And, you know, I mean, we already kind of know what they have planned for the future for the next, like 5 or 6 years, because they've kind of mapped that out. But it'll be interesting to see what comes of this in the future, and more things they have planned for the company. But I think Josh is an excellent choice, because, like I said, you know, the parks are where they make their money, so it'll be great to see those areas get a lot of love, because I think we can all agree that there are a lot of, especially at Walt Disney World, there are a lot of areas that could use some love, and I'm excited to see that coming.
Yeah, and I guess he's already been involved in a lot of the decisions, and it's a great time for him to step in with, especially when it comes to the parks. A lot of this stuff's already in motion, so he's not going to have to make all the decisions. Hopefully everything is laid out and it's already been explained to him. This is where we're going with Magic Kingdom. This is where we're going with Animal Kingdom. That is now, I guess it's officially an 8th day park now that they've closed Dinosaur Land, right? There's, yeah, but everything's set to go. And all he's got to do is just keep steering the ship. So it's a good time for him. But I got to start wrapping up here.
Did you have anything you wanted to add, Lisa, before we wrap up here?
I didn't have anything to really add. We did eventually mention dinosaurs since it closed. So I'm excited to see that transition to.
I would like to have been over there to meet Grant Seeker, but I didn't get to the park in time.
That was really cool.
Seeing him standing, it's just like the best thing ever.
Awesome. How awesome is that? Just to be standing there and in line and just see him like walking through the lightning lane, like what? Like, oh my God! I would have been like, oh my God! So that
oh my God! It's Grant Seeker's dad. My God, he got old. But
yeah. But then
that would have been really neat to see.
And time to go get that dino, and Oh, it was just oh. And then not only on top of that, the cast members inside Restaurantosaurus were just great. The whole dance routine that they did to walk the dinosaur song and like that whole thing, it was just what a send off. I mean, you couldn't have had a better send off for that attraction. So as sad as I am to see Restaurantosaurus go, yes, I said that. I'm not sad about Dinosaur I could take or leave, but Restaurantosaurus I am upset about.
I'm
as sad as I
had so many good memories at Restaurantosaurus. That's why I'm like, no, but it's okay.
Yeah, Restaurantosaurus is awesome. But other than that, I think I'm more upset about Restaurantosaurus than I am Dinosaur, but I am sad about Dinosaur too. But I think that's gonna do it for this week's show, guys. I know that we love being here for you guys. We love having you with us here on this week's show. It's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. Is there anything else one last time before we wrap this up? Anybody else wanted to add?
Not at all.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week. I'm tongue-tied here today. I can't do the outro here. Well, thanks for joining us this week, guys, on the Mickey Updates. Sorry, man, I'm so lost today. Thank you for joining us this week on the Mouse Mind podcast here. We look forward to having you guys every week on our live stream every week at 8:30. You can join us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You can find us on the Mouse Mind page on Facebook and Twitch, and of course, Disney and Beyond on Facebook or on YouTube as well. And you can find us live streaming there too. But we definitely want to thank you for joining us this week. And as I always say, if you can dream it, you can do it. So go do it this week, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Have a great week and stay warm out there.